Welcome to the lab of 20CS2050 Software Engineering. So, in this lab, we are going to learn about how to develop a software based on a disciplinary approach because there is a difference between a way of developing a software after learning a software engineering and without learning a software engineering. Software engineering, which gives you idea about how to develop a particular software, how to engage your team, and how to divide the activities and assign to different team, and how to plan various activities in the particular project that depends upon the objectives. And so this helps you and guide you to complete the project on time in a professional way. So that is why we are learning a software engineering. So it guides you, and we are going to develop a software in a disciplinary approach. Here in this lab, we are going to learn different procedures and process which involves in software engineering. So as per this list of experiment, there are 10 experiments are there that I'll explain you one by one. Experiment 1, which says about problem analysis and project planning. Here come, we are going to consider a project, okay, that is based on the recent titles, and we are going to study and learn about its different phases and process, as well as objectives and the infrastructure which are required for implementing the particular project. The second experiment, we are going to do a thorough analysis about the requirements, that is hardware as well as software, and as well as functional and non-functional requirements. Experiment 3 onwards, we have started using that is star UML. It's an open source tool, and the same way we can done it with license based applications based software like rational rules. So in our lab, when we practice in star UML, and with the help of it, diagrammatically we can analyze a particular problem or a project. So we are going to learn in experiment 3, and we are going to draw the use case diagram, which gives you an overall picture about what is the project and what are the different phases, and how many modules, and who are the person, the people and their privileges. So in that aspect, experiment 3 we are going to do. And experiment 4, that guides you on implementation part, that is developing different classes and the relationship between the classes. Experiment 5, we are going to learn about the sequence diagram, the step-by-step implementation of a particular project. And experiment 6, we are going to draw like a kind of a flow chart, and which shows how the each and every step of access we are going to give and implement in a particular project. Small activities, all small activities we are going to do a thorough analysis. Experiment 7, we are going to learn about component diagram and deployment diagram. So here we are mainly deals with the software requirement as well as the hardware requirement. Component diagram deals with the software aspect, and the deployment diagram deals with the hardware perspective. So in that aspect, these two diagrams will give you an overall view about developing a particular project. Experiment 8, we are going to estimate the size of a particular project. If you know how many functions are there, that is based on COCOMO model, we are going to do a calculation. Using a tool as well as the manual calculation, we are going to verify how many functions are there or belongs to a particular project. Experiment 9, we are going to do a testing with the help of Selenium, and we are going to develop a sample application, and then we are going to do and execute different test cases on it. Experiment 10, we are going to write a software requirement specification. Whatever you have studied from experiment 1 to 9, altogether we put as a single documentation, because in an industry, before you start a project, have to write a software requirement specification for a particular project. So all these study experiments as well as the diagram based analysis will give you a clear picture before doing a particular project. This gives you and guides you a clear view about all kind of requirements in the aspect of people as well as material and budget schedule. So likewise, and what are the different test cases we have to write for a particular project. So every plan in hand, we are going to put it in a final documentation part. So altogether, this experiment, as well as these experiments, as well as this particular subject lab, that will give you idea about when you go for doing a real-time analysis about a particular project, you can completely analyze its requirements based on these steps and procedures.